The New Jersey Devils are at a crucial crossroads with their promising young defenseman Luke Hughes, and the clock is ticking. With training camp barely more than 2 weeks away, the team's general manager, Tom Fitzgerald, remains deeply engaged in ongoing contract negotiations with Hughes, who is a restricted free agent. But here's where it gets controversial. While progress is being made, the extension has yet to be finalized, sparking speculation about whether this could drag into the last possible moment, potentially disrupting preseason preparations and team chemistry. In a recent sit-down interview with RG, Fitzgerald shared some insight into where talks stand, the challenges posed by the NHL's evolving salary cap landscape, and how these factors intertwine with the upcoming collective bargaining agreement, CBA, extension. He also reflected on the broader implications these issues have for the Devils moving forward. When asked about the status of the Luke Hughes contract discussions, Fitzgerald kept things cautiously optimistic. "We're still in the process of communicating and exchanging proposals back and forth," he explained. "This situation, quite honestly, often doesn't get resolved until the 11th hour, right around training camp. But we're hopeful for a swift resolution. Both sides are committed to finding common ground, and I'm confident it'll happen." However, there's an unmistakable shadow from last year's holdout drama involving another Devils player, Dawson Mercer, which still looms large in the minds of everyone involved. Hughes and his agent, Pat Brisson, appear all too mindful of the dangers of stalled talks and the disruptive consequences holdouts can bring. Fitzgerald didn't shy away from acknowledging this impact. These situations weigh heavily on everyone, us, Luke, and Pat too. Ultimately, the player's leverage, especially early in their career, often boils down to a holdout, and that's not a situation anyone wins from. Our goal is to avoid that scenario by reaching an agreement that works for all. Adding another layer of complexity, reports surfaced after this interview indicating Hughes is seeking a 5-year contract that would align his free agency timeline with his brother Jack Hughes, both potentially hitting the open market in 2030. This family connection adds an intriguing wrinkle to the negotiations and raises questions about how common strategies might influence contract terms. The Devils' contract talks are also unfolding against a backdrop of a rising NHL salary cap and the impending new CBA, which are shaking up the entire landscape of player contracts. Fitzgerald elaborated on how these broader factors influence the discussions. Yes, agents and players are understandably pushing for contracts that account for future cap increases. The rest of the league has to be creative and mindful of internal restrictions. This financial reality isn't just an abstract concept, it directly shapes trade dynamics and player movement. According to Fitzgerald, the rising cap has turned the trade market into more of a buyer's domain, simply because more teams have room to take on salary. But a notable downside is that with many teams looking to add rather than shed contracts, there are fewer sellers, which complicates deal-making. Turning to the Devils' roster and prospects for the upcoming season, Fitzgerald expressed confidence in the current defensive core, especially regarding their physical presence. "I like our defensemen's size and toughness," he stated. "We play with grit, we protect the puck in the corners, and we battle hard in front of the net. We also have the ability to move the puck quickly up the ice." However, he acknowledges there's room for improvement, particularly in defensive positioning and gap control. "We need to tighten up defensively, closing gaps faster and cutting down on rush chances. Being more tenacious in the offensive zone to create scoring opportunities is also a focus. Simply put, playing more stingy hockey on both ends will help us win more games." Looking at the forward group, Fitzgerald highlighted their increased grit and commitment to playing tough, inside hockey. "Getting to the inside ice, the hard, contested areas where scoring chances are born, is critical," he said. He pointed to Jesper Bratt as a prime example of this development, noting Bratt's impressive combination of points and physical play, which reflects the team's overall growth. "There's a maturity that comes with experience," Fitzgerald added. "Our players are learning that winning hockey isn't about flashy moves alone. It's about being tough, owning the important areas on the ice." and winning the battles in front of both nets. While it's a physical game, it's not the brutal style of the 70s or 80s anymore. It's about smart, hard play. He concluded by reinforcing the team's commitment to this style. We understand where games are won and lost, and the focus is on being stronger in those key areas. James Murphy, the author behind this update, brings a deep well of hockey knowledge drawn from 25 years of experience covering the NHL, NCAA, and CHL. Having reported extensively on the Boston Bruins, including their Stanley Cup triumph in 2011 and multiple finals appearances, Murphy's insights carry weight within the hockey community. His career has seen him engage with players, coaches, executives, and media across the hockey world, and he also co-hosts the Eye Test podcast, where he interviews prominent figures in the sport daily. Given all this, one has to wonder, with Hughes' contract still unresolved and the budgetary complexities mounting, are the Devils navigating this process as well as they could? Or are these delays hinting at deeper issues within the organization? How much should fans worry about another contract holdout, and what would that mean for the team's chemistry and performance this season? We'd love to hear your take. Do you believe the Devils will get the deal done smoothly, or is this a sign of bigger challenges ahead? Join the conversation and share your thoughts.